Oh, man. Oh, sorry. I have to stop my car. Apparently, I missed my exit. Oh, I'm so angry at myself for missing my exit. What do I do now? Well, I never would have missed my exit if I wasn't paying attention, if I had been rather paying attention to traffic signs. You see, one of the most important things about driving is making sure you know where you're going. Usually you'll have some kind of a road map, and that road map will guide you to where you're going, but only if you follow traffic signs effectively. So, today I'm going to talk to you about safe driving. No, I'm just kidding. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about two things. First, I'm going to talk to you about the idea of tagging, and second, how to use tagging for previews, reviews, and transitions. But first, let's talk about tagging. What do I mean by tagging? No, I'm not talking about taking some spray paint and putting up a gang sign somewhere on a wall. That's one kind of tagging. But the kind of tagging I'm talking about is what you do when you categorize the contents of one of your main points. I want you to think of your main points as a file folder. At the top of every file folder, you'll find a tab. And that tab is full of information about what is in that file folder. However, that tab is very, very short because you put a tag on it that will summarize everything in that folder very, very briefly. That's what you should do with the main points of your speech. You summarize what's in that main point in 1 or 2 words. You could maybe go to 3, but 1 or 2 words is best. So tagging is the first thing that we need to talk about here. Now that we've talked about the tagging, we need to move on to how to use previews, reviews, and transitions. When you tag something, you've now created a short way to refer to all of your main points, and you can use these in your previews, reviews, and transitions. So for example, say I was going to do a short speech about going to Disney World. Maybe I want to talk about the food, I want to talk about the rides, and I want to talk about all the characters. So instead of having these big long sentences to describe that, I might have tags that says food, rides, and characters. And then I would use those tags in order to make the organization of my speech run smoother. So I might say, today we'll talk about food, rides, and characters. Between my main points, I might have a transition where I move you from one main point to the next main point. So, for example, I might say, now that we've talked about the food, we can move on to the rides. Now that we've discussed the rides, let's talk about the characters. The reason we do this is to provide a kind of verbal outline for the person listening to our speech. Because we have a really short attention span as listeners, we need to repeat the information for our audience as much as possible. This includes in our introduction, in our preview, in our transitions, in our main point, in our conclusion. And we're going to use the same words over and over again. We might use it in the introduction and the preview. We might use it in the main point statements. We might use it in the transitions. Whatever we do, we're going to use those same tags over and over again until the audience remembers it. It will also help you remember what you want to say because the tags are simple and easy to remember. So, today we talked about two things, tagging and previews, reviews, and transitions. You'll notice I just did a little transition and preview, review, and transition in this little video just now. Go back and see if you can detect where they are. So, as a recap, tagging is going to be very important for you as you go forward with your public speaking endeavors. You want to tag your main points to make them shorter, and then you're going to use those tags to preview, review, and transition throughout your speech to provide a verbal outline for your audience. That's really all I have for you today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I've got to get back in my car and I got to get going. Later!